professional recognition and career advancement. So when you are publishing research in, actually it is crucial for gaining professional recognition within the scientific community. So that doesn't mean, yeah, within whatever the community, when you are, as far as your work environment is concerned. And also it establishes the credibility and also demonstrating the expertise and especially opening up opportunities for collaboration and funding. Because if though you are doing any research, but if it is not recognized, if it is not visible, so nobody will know the importance of your research, and then you are not going to have opportunities in collaboration with other researchers. And also, so in order to do any kind of research, you need funds. Therefore, it is important to improve the visibility of your research. One way of doing your improving your visibility and the recognition is by publishing in a reputed journal. And also, by publishing your work, researchers ensures that their discoveries or findings are accessible and can have a tangible impact on whatever the area you are contributing, and also ensures the quality of the research and its trustworthiness. Because though you do a research and have a very good finding, nobody can trust it unless you publish it in a scholarly or a reputed journal after going through a peer review process. So therefore, in order to improve the validity of your research and the trustworthiness of your research, it is important to publish your research. And now, since I have given you a brief introduction about the importance of publishing and doing research and publishing and improving the visibility and the recognition, and let's talk about the journals, academic or scholarly journals. So, academic or scholarly journal is a periodical publication in which the findings relating to a particular discipline uh, is published. So there are certain journals which are very, giving a very limited scope to publish a certain area. Let's say if there's a journal only publishing civil engineering research, it's a very limited one. There are certain journals which are accommodating multidisciplinary work. Or there are certain journals, let's say Annals of Botany. So it accommodates several areas covering in the area of botany and plant sciences. Like that, it depends. So whatever your requirement, before you trying to find a journal, so you should know about the journals, their scopes. And these journals serve as permanent and as well as transparent forums for the presenters, as well as when you are scrutinizing them and when discussing the research or reviews. So it is a very transparent forum. And these journals require obviously peer review for research articles or and establish their respective fields, and those who are experts in their establish whatever the field, so they are the people who are doing peer reviews, right? And I have given some examples of scholarly journals. There's a lot. And now, when you consider the content of a journal, academic or scholarly journal, these articles which are having in the journal discuss the aspects common to all academic fields. So it could be, as I'm telling you, it could be medicinal, it could be medicine or engineering or library science or history, social studies, or anything. And these articles could be either based on original research or review articles, or even book reviews. And according to this person, Henry Oldenburg, he is the first editor of Philosophical Transactions of the Royal Society. So the purpose, according to him, the purpose of an academic journal, purposes are to give the researchers a setting to communicate their knowledge to one another. Yes. So verbal communications are unreliable. When you are publishing your findings in a newspaper article, that is also not a recognized, it's not very much recognized. Therefore, when you are publishing your research in an academic or scholarly journal, it gives researchers a setting to communicate their knowledge to one another in a reliable manner and also to contribute what they can in outstanding way of improving the existing, how they can improve the existing knowledge or the gaps and to perfecting all maybe philosophical arts and sciences. So yes, because in a when you are publishing in a journal, obviously, so it is going through a rigorous review process. Therefore, the validity is improved and also recognition is improved and also the reliability as well. And if we go to a history of academic journals or scholarly journals, the first journals are Journal Discovers. It was published in January 1665, and Philosophical Transaction of the Royal Society, March 1665, and Memories di Academic Dis Sciences in 1666. And although these are available, the first fully peer-reviewed journal is the Medical Essays and Observations, which was published in 1733. And let's see who is going to write or who is contributing to a journal, good journal, scholarly journal. So that they could be the authors who are in academia, like professors or lecturers or students, researchers, and also those who are in specialized fields. It could be medicine or engineering or finance or library science or social studies or anything. Not only the academics, but the other people who are expertise in their own relevant um, fields. And how are you going to identify a scholarly or an academic journal? There are several points I can show you. Typically written and evaluated by other scholars before published. Yes, usually a newspaper article or a magazine article, uh, only the maybe the editor-in-chief in that newspaper or magazine, that person will go through. But when it comes to a manuscript or a published paper, it is evaluated by other scholars who are in the same area before publishing. And it is also an in-depth study or a review or a report, lengthier than a magazine article. So in you would have seen, when you are publishing in a good scholarly journal, so in the everything is given in the author guidelines. Especially they are specifying about the minimum number of words. So usually they are saying minimum number of words because pages, because if you include the figures and tables and all, so then the paper will become lengthier, but they are saying minimum number of words. So it is geared towards students, it could be professionals or other researchers, rather than giving just a descriptive this, descriptive uh, I mean writing. So it is geared toward students, professionals, and other researchers, a valuable finding. And it contains footnotes and a list of references. This list of references is also a must because when you are writing a paper, you have to
I
go
need a
through.
clear request. Please rephrase what you want me to.
Uh, uh, because the references you have to do a thorough literature review and have some idea about the previous research, the previous findings, and also you have to give a justification why you are doing it. Is there a gap of the previous findings and what you are going to do, something like that. Also, they are referred to as peer reviewed because obviously it is going through a review process by the scholars in the same area. And there are many examples of very good scholarly journals. So I'm just listing out Nature, American Economic Review, and there are many, many more. I just gave a couple of examples. And why academic or scholarly journals are important. So there should be an importance, no? The academic or scholarly journals are out together with the primary purpose of distributing legitimate knowledge on the latest studies, research, and breakthroughs. Yes, because the idea of publishing a paper or a manuscript in a scholarly journal is to uh, distribute or disseminate the legitimate knowledge uh, of a novel. It could be a breakthrough novel finding, a novel research, or a latest study. Now I mean, when you are publishing a paper in a journal, you can't publish a work which has already been done, and you can't duplicate it and or replicate. I mean, again, replicate, you can't repeat the same study. Of course, you can make use of a previous methodology to carry out your research or analysis to carry out your research, but your own research should be a original one, and the outcome would be a new outcome rather than an old one. So if it is an old one, so I mean, there's of no use. That's why a rigorous review process is undergoing to see whether your research and the findings are worthwhile to publish in a reputed journal. And these journals provide and validate specific and in-depth knowledge about multiple areas of study and interest for students and experts. Yes, depend on the journal. So they are providing and validating an in-depth study of a particular area. So it depends on the journal. So if it is a very specific journal, so they are limited to a particular area. Let's say engineering, if it is engineering, maybe mechanical or civil or something like that. And if it is a multidisciplinary one, it could include many. If it is, let's say, microbiology related journal, or my areas are, let's say, nanotechnology, it is only specific for nanotechnology research. It depends on the journal's scope of the journal. And before trying to give you some idea about how to publish your research in a scholarly journal, I think it's better to identify what predatory journals are, because nowadays people all are talking about predatory journals. So they are it's coming up like mushrooms, and so the students and even the researchers and even the academics and or those who are doing research and studies in other areas also should have some kind of idea about the predatory journals, because if they don't have any idea about what they are, so these people are in trouble, because they can easily publish their research or findings in predatory journals, but of no value at all. So predatory journals take advantage of the open access publishing model. So there are open access publishing models. So online you are publishing. Therefore, they are also, I mean, most of the time you are not printing your journals. in open access journals, of course, you are not making printing copies. So even these people, predatory journals also take an advantage of this open access publishing model. They are charging publication fees without providing standard peer review or editing services. Yes. Now, even in good open access publishing model journals, they charge, sometimes they do charge, but if it is a good journal, so there is a lengthy peer review process and editing service. It includes language editing as well. So, how to identify predatory journals? So, they don't have a rigorous peer review, editorial, or preservation services. What they do is when you submit a paper to the manuscript today, so within, let's say, 2-3 weeks, they say your I request those who are uh, switching on your cameras. I think better to switch off because I can see a lot of things in the screen, right? Uh, so, uh, so in these predatory journals, no rigorous peer review or editorial or preservation service within. Let's say if you submit the manuscript today. Within, let's say, 2-3 weeks, they say we are happy to say your manuscript has been accepted to publish in this journal, and please make the payment before publishing it. No editorial or no other services. And also no quality control in their selection process. Yes, because they do publish each and every manuscript, no matter what the area is, or whether it's whether someone has done an in-depth study or not. So they don't mind because their main idea is to make, I mean, money is the key thing. Therefore, they don't mind about quality controlling or selection process. And also they exploit open access publication model, as I already told you, for the sole purpose of financial gain. So we have to be very careful and vigilant about the availability of, I think, hundreds of predatory journals are there. Today it's there. Maybe in another couple of years, that journal is missing. Website is also, I mean, it's not there. Therefore, it is our responsibility to look for a good, reputed journal before thinking of publishing your findings. And in case of predatory publishing, it brings harm not only to the individual but also to the integrity of the scientific record and the reputation of scholarly publishing. Yes, because it will damage you also. And also the scientific, sometimes they maybe a person has given wrong information about whatever finding, so they are publishing. So then it is harming the integrity of the scientific record, previous records, as well as the reputation of scholarly publishing also. And these predatory journals also provide readers with content that has not been properly evaluated and is often of poor quality. Yes, even the readers are believing what these people are, publishing, and they do believe maybe false information. And it is bad for the reputation of the individuals as well as even the readers. And there are consequences in publishing predatory journals. If publish your research in a predatory journal, you will definitely damage your reputation and career, and it's a waste of time, effort, and money, and also loss of your research uh, and also promotion or scholarship. So, say for example, yeah, an academic in a university, if you publish your findings in couple of predatory journals, then it will damage your reputation as well, because others will say, oh, this person is always publishing in predatory journals, and increasing the number of publications within a couple of years. So it will damage your reputation and career as well, because once others realize that those are coming from predatory journals, uh, so your reputation is also damaging, and you are wasting your time, effort, and money. Because when you are doing whatever the research, it needs money, it needs time, it needs effort. So everything will be in vain, because when you publish your findings in a predatory journal, so what will happen is you are not in a position to, even if you know later on come across that this is a predatory journal, but you are not in a position to publish the same thing in a reputed journal. So also lost your research and promotion scholarship. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, because in universities, so in research institutions, so anywhere, so there is a mm, uh, recognition for your publications. So maybe they are demanding that you have to publish this much of research or papers in order to get promotion or something like that. So once they come across that a particular person has published in a predatory journal, so you don't get your promotion. Or if you have applied for a scholarship, definitely they are looking for your list of references. So there are ways and means to find out whether it's a scholarly published in a scholarly reputed journal or a predatory journal. Then you will lose everything. So I kindly request that better to switch off your cameras, because I see certain people are I think walking and listening, it's okay, fine, but it is distracting me. Okay. I think National Library can control. Yes, good, thank you. Are predatory journals illegal? Although predatory publishing is exploitative and unethical, uh, we have to evaluate whether this publisher is engaged in illegal conduct by case by case, taking case by case, and you have to study. Otherwise, you can't take legal actions, because so if they come across that you are going to take legal actions, what would happen is maybe they will remove it from the whatever it is from the website, and that's it. Yeah. And what is the difference between predatory journals and scholarly journals? So that it is very important. So once you understand, once you know how to differentiate the difference between the predatory and the scholarly reputed journal, so it's easy for you. You won't get into any traps. Predatory journals rely on a business model based on the based on the article processing charges or publication fees, as do many reputable open access journals. Yes, even open access journals, they do charge article processing charge or publication fee. So, uh, uh, so these predatory journals also do that one. asked right at the beginning. But however, serious or reputed open access journals will usually what they do is charge a fee once they have decided to accept it, the article, based on the peer review reports, but not in advance. That is one of the way to identify the differentiate between scholarly journal and a predatory journal. So predatory journals, right from the beginning, even before you are, at the time you are submitting, so they are asking a charge, maybe $100, $75, $125, something like that. Yeah. And how can you detect if a journal is predatory or not? Or again, article posting charges that are very low are not mentioned in the journal's website. Yes. So article posting charges are in reputed journals also they are charging. Once the manuscript is accepted, they are also charging sometimes. Nowadays, yes, many journals do charge because otherwise they can't survive. They have to continue. But in case of predatory journals, article processing charges are very low. Sometimes $50, $75, $100. So people are not bothered about paying that much of money right at the beginning and thinking that, oh, I will get another publication within a short time. So like that, people can collect about 10 journal papers within a year. Otherwise, usually it takes maybe 6 months, maybe 1 year or 1.5 years. It depends on the journal. They are taking a long time for the review process. So in case of predatory journals, within 1 or 2 months, you can get a couple of publications. Missing information relating to how funds are used. So you don't know. You are not aware of what is happening to these funds and missing information related to the journals review or publication process, obviously, because there's no review process at all and promises of fast acceptance, review, and publication. Yes, it is the main promises given to attract the authors. Okay. How to avoid predatory journals? The journal or the publisher is listed in certain reports, predatory journal reports, and also it is not listed in the directories of accepted journals, and also it is not listed in any authoritative source on publisher information, including open access titles. So then if you go to this one, this list of, this is a Bell's list of potential predatory journals and publishers. So you can go through this website and there's a list. From time to time it is updating. I don't know how often it is updating, but there are ways and means of finding out the predatory journals. And also when you have the experience in publishing, oh yes, in reputed journals, what a predatory journal and a good recognized journals, what are they? Identify. In good journal, so they are how you can identify is, okay. How do you identify non-predatory journals or scholarly journals? Scope of the journal is well defined and clearly stated. Journal's primary audience is researchers and practitioners. Editorial boards are recognized experts in the field, right? So those are all given in the websites of reputed journals. And how to select a good scholarly journal. So there are important criteria and also key indicators for a quality journal. So given aims and scope of the journal is given, the editorial board is given, indexing status is also given peer review process, the duration and how it is being processed. Sometimes the reviewers are giving the reports and after that revisions are there. Again, you have to go through another round of review, something like that. And also the uh, reputation. So reputation, I mean, say for example, Annals of Botany or Nature journal, it has a very high reputation, very good reputation. Then you know, obviously these are scholarly journals. And policies, guidelines for authors, everything is given in a good journal. So let's say in Annals of Botany, I'll just give. I don't know that. Okay, see, this is the Annals of Botany. So you can see all these information given here, whether it's working or not. Yeah, yeah, they are asking, yeah, they are giving all the information. Say, why publish with the AOB, author guidelines, submission site, open access policy, self-archiving policy, benefits of publishing in open access journal like this or something. Yeah, lot of information. Yeah, editorial boards, everything is given. Okay. And journal article publication process. Yeah. Uh, when you are publishing a journal article, so there is a standard process for journal article publication. First, you have to prepare the manuscript to conform to the journal requirements. So, as I told you earlier, so the each and every journal is have their own requirements, including their scope and formatting and everything. So formatting of the content based on the journal's guidelines is one of the requirements. In addition to that one, their scope. Follow the standard structure of an journal article. So they are giving. So sometimes they are asking first abstract, keywords, introduction, lit review, methodology, results, discussion, conclusion. In addition, that are references and all these things. Sometimes results and discussion could come together. So no need to have an introduction. So you have to give a introduction in the literature review. So these two can be continued here rather than saying methodology, you have to say materials and methodology. It depends on the journal. And each section should flow seamlessly, guiding the reader through the author's research journey. So, what the author did in his or her research. Draft an impressive cover letter on your study. Of course, yes. So, you have, it is a must that when you are submitting it into a scholarly journal, so you have to say, you have to justify, give a justification why my or our research is important, why it should publish in your reputed journal. Like that, you are writing to the editor-in-chief a nice letter. So nowadays, nowadays it's everything is online. No, even when you are submitting online, so there is a place to include this particular kind of a covering letter as well. And when you are preparing to write, you have to gather all the contents like results. If you are doing lab work, lab notes, observations, methods, collected, I mean, if you are doing collecting data through a questionnaire, so that is also a kind of a data, multimedia content, and also references. And to get started in your manuscript, you have to create a skeleton template. right? Based on the instructions or author guidelines given by a particular reputed journal. So you have to start with like abstract, then if they are asking introduction, yes. If they are asking another literature review, yes, you have to give. Otherwise, you are combining everything, and introduction and literature both are you can combine. It depends on the journal's wish and the language you are using. It should be a very simple language, no flowery languages. It is a key, it is the most important aspect, one of the most important aspect in addition to your research findings. Language issues can have an impact on whether it is accepting or rejecting. Sometimes if the content is very good, what the editorial board decide is to go for a language editing process. And they are sometimes asking the author, corresponding author to take it back and then edit the language and submit. Say, for example, in my case, when I one time I submitted to a journal, uh, and then it's a in Australian journal, SCI journal. Then they have accepted it, and they say your language uh, implies that you are uh, your implies that your second language is English. So you have to uh, do a language editing. So then what I did was then I consulted one of my friends in Australia and asked her to help with this one. Like that they can identify and then because of their scope, they don't they are very much concerned about the language as well, right? Errors disengage the reader. Yes, when you are making language errors, readers are not happy about that. And also you have to try to avoid unnecessary words or phrases. Yeah, I told you, as I told you, no flowery language. Keep it simple and use the passive voice whenever possible. Carbon dioxide was consumed by the plant. It is the passive voice. The plant consumed carbon dioxide. It is the active voice. So you have to, as much as possible, you have to avoid the active voice, only the passive voice. But nowadays, I have seen in journals saying that I conducted this research, we collected results, something like that. I think it's better to avoid all these things. The results were conducted by the researcher during the period of something like that, you can say. That tense is also important. Mm. For known facts and hypothesis, because sometimes hypothesis also asked to include in your research paper or the manuscript, you have to use the present tense. But always make sure that you are using the past tense when referring to experiments you have conducted. The water samples were taken or something like that. The data were collected like that, and use the past tense to describe the results also, because you have already done now, you have already finished conducting the research. Therefore, you always better to advisable to use the past tense. That's why I told you language is the key. Sometimes if you are not following up all these golden rules, the editorial board will right at the beginning will reject your manuscript rather than sending it for uh, reviewers. Okay. Title is very catchy or very important aspect of your manuscript. Title is the main advertisement for your article. Yes, title should be a very catchy one. A good title entices the audience to read on. A poorly titled article may never reach your target readers. Yes, because first of all, even in a newspaper article, you are first going through the title. No, if you don't like this title, you don't even bother to read the article. no matter whether it's good or bad. Similarly, certain people, many, because it's a human nature, so they are uh, always attracted by a catchy title. And the article's title should reflect its content clearly, enabling readers to decide. Yes, and also the article title will always should or will reflect the content in the article. And also the when you are making the title catchy and specific, you can't use like phrases, a study of, investigation into, observations on, phrases you don't need to include. Straightforward title should be given, and also should avoid using abbreviations and jargons. You can't use abbreviations, let's say carbon dioxide. You have to say carbon dioxide rather than saying CO2. You have to say oxygen rather than saying O2, something like that, in the title itself. But after that, you can use in the content or in the text. And there are effective titles, identify the article's main topic, and also it should be accurate, unambiguous, not giving double meanings. It should be very specific. It should be short as possible, and also enticing and interesting. Yes, catchy titles. I have given some examples of good titles. Customer satisfaction with online retail delivery services, a comparative analysis. So maybe dietary patterns are associated with type 2 diabetes risk in urban population. And poor titles are, yeah. Now the compared to the third good title, the poor title is exploring the relationship between diet and disease, something like that. Yes. Yes. Examining the relationship between academic stress and sleep quality in university students. Now, the poor title would be factors contributing to student stress. This is very wide. No, they are talking about stress and the sleep quality. Now they are talking about factors contributing to student stress. There are many factors, but it's a very loose kind of title. Results of a survey on customer satisfaction. Yeah. So it's very broad. Don't understand what it is. But customer satisfaction with online retail delivery services means they have specified what they are expecting. Something like that. And also keywords are also again always you have to after the and after an abstract, keywords should give. And most journals request a list of keywords. Definitely, when you are submitting, keywords are asking, because it is these important words are relevant to the work you are presenting and capture the research effectively. Yes, because when they why they are asking keywords is later on when they have published, so the keywords are the main attraction or main key to search for your uh, paper. Those library staff, they know it better than I do. Right? Then the keywords are used by abstracting and indexing services, and also choosing the right ones can increase the chance of your article being found by other researchers. The visibility, these keywords, the correct keywords will improve or increase the visibility of your research and the findings among whoever interested parties. And the abstract, that is also an essential part of your manuscript or paper. The abstract describes the research given in the manuscript, obviously. So abstract is the summary of your findings. Sometimes people only go through the title and the abstract. And once the if they go through the abstract and if it is satisfied, yes, then they will look into the further content in the paper. A well-written abstract will help readers to understand what the article is about and whether it is interesting or useful for them. Therefore, people are glancing at the abstract and then only they decide whether to go through the paper or not. So it will also help improve visibility through abstracting and indexing, right? And definitely an abstract should include introduction, objectives or problem, methods, findings and results, conclusion, sometimes future directions as well. And I have just extracted one. Abstract is a short one, but though it is a short one, it is giving an introduction, it's giving methodologies and results, the keywords. And when you are giving the keywords, so make sure that everything is simple letters, even starting with a simple letter. Then the introduction should be there. Or maybe introduction and a lit review both. It should provide context and background of your research. It should state the problem being investigated and its contextual background and the reasons for conducting the research. Because you have to say there's a gap in this area, therefore I'm trying to fill the gap by doing this research. State the questions you are answering and explain any findings of others that you are challenging or building on. So that's why I told you in the introduction, the literature review could also be included rather than giving it separately, depend on the requirement or the guidelines given by a particular journal. So you have to quote others' findings and you have to justify, although they have found this one, still there's a gap. We have to fill the gap, or still there are rooms for improvement. Therefore, we are doing this improvement. Or this has been done, let's say, for a plant. This has been done for plant species A or animal species A, but this hasn't been done for plant or animal species B. Therefore, we are doing it. And this has been, this, let's say, elephant population. This kind of research has been done in Thailand, but not in Sri Lanka. Therefore, adopting the same methodology, we are studying the elephant population in Sri Lanka, something like that. Briefly and logically lead the reader to your research question, the hypothesis, experimental design, method, and the findings. Method. So you have to logically lead the reader towards your objectives and methods. So giving a research problem or a question, and there are hypotheses, and we are trying to see whether whatever the hypotheses are true or false, and you have to say experimental designs also. This previous research has conducted using these experimental designs, so we are using this one, or in addition to that one we are using another one or something like that. And also methods, everything, and materials and methods or methodology, whatever it is. This section should be detailed enough to enable readers to replicate your research. Yes, once you publish, it is published. It is your original work, but the other readers, you should allow rooms for other researchers or students or whoever it is to replicate your research. So maybe you depend on the validity of your research. They will also adopt your methodologies. Therefore, you should give enough description about the methodology you have adopted. And it is advisable to use the past tense always. We collected this research, we collected this much of data, something like that, always past tense. And avoid using first person perspectives like I transferred liquid A to the mixture. No, no, no. The liquid A has been transferred to the mixture, something like that, passive voice. Yes, and yeah, a complete procedure if new. Let's say we are adopting a previously published methodology. No need to say everything. So we have followed, let's say, Jones et al. 2021 methodology, something like that you can say. But if it is a new procedure, you have to describe. Then only the others can adopt your once it is published, it is accepted, therefore you can, others can use. And research and discussion part, you have to be, you have to show how research contribute to the scientific knowledge on the readers, and therefore it should be clear and logical, and you should describe the meaning of your results, especially in the context what was already known about the subject, and you can compare your results with the already existing results, and you should link this section to the introduction, lit review, and linking to your questions and hypotheses. So these results were obtained, and they are proving my first hypothesis, but it is not adhering to the second hypothesis or something like that. And also you can compare with the other previous studies and say, yes, it is agreeable with the previous study done by John et al. 2021 and Smith et al. 2019 or something like that. Or else you can say, however, these people have mentioned that the research should be like that. There are some deviations I found out of my findings or something like that. You have to always critically, you have to discuss your results. Suggest practical applications for your results, yes, and all. And also you have to improve the statistical analysis you have done. And in conclusion, you have to say major findings and results, and it shouldn't be another abstract. Conclusion should be different from abstract. So sometimes what people are doing is you write a good abstract and again repeating the abstract under conclusion. It shouldn't be the case. What you have to do is, this is completely different from the abstract. Abstract should contain everything. As I told you, introduction, an introduction, methodology, results, discuss, and future, maybe future plans, future, whatever it is, everything should be there. But the research should include the major findings and other barriers, limitations, and also future scope. If it is there, you can mention. And other sections are, you can say, acknowledgements, references, author credits, data availability statement, or anything. Now let's go to the other section, how to find a suitable journal for your research. Okay. Yes. You can journal search, you can from publishers and others. Yeah, these are, I have given some sites. Elsevier, Springer, Post Search Engine, from Willy and Sage, and also from your references. This is also very, very important, because now when you are preparing the lit review, you are going through several journal articles. So usually you are looking for good standard journal articles. So then when you are finding the journal articles, obviously you see the journal name as well. That is also one of the very important way of finding a good scholarly journal, in addition to going through these sites and There are many. Yeah, I have given only some examples. Yeah. Mm. And nowadays, always you are hearing about indexing and why indexing is important. Let's see, higher quality and widely accepted among scientific community. These index journals are of higher quality, obviously, and widely accepted among the scientific community. And it's known for their impact among the original research. Yes, because in reputed journals, so they are having a very rigorous review process to make sure only the original research uh, is published in their journals. Yeah, you can say Scopus Index, SCI Index, and there are many, right? And and you should know about the publishing process of a journal article as well. Once you write the manuscript and submit. So let's see submission process. Editorial manager or editor-in-chief is there. Online platform that most of the journals use. Yes, this online platform. You have to choose the article type. You have to upload the files. Choose the category based on the subject matter. Choose the Then they are reviewing, choosing, and essential questions they are asking. Data sources, permissions, grant sometimes, open access or not, then ethical clearance especially. So nowadays they are asking for ethical clearance as well. Unless you get the ethical clearance, you can't publish your article. And even if you have a questionnaire, if the humans are involved in reputed journals, again they are looking for the ethical clearance. Not only in the field of medicine or biology or anything like that, like zoology. Author details, review and submit all these things. And when you are publishing, you have to go through different stages. Internal checks on new manuscript submissions. So they are checking internally. Sometimes at this point also they are rejecting. Then peer review of manuscripts by reviewers. And revision decision. Yes. Sometimes they are asking at once if the manuscript is very good, so at once they can decide. Or if it is very bad, at once they will reject. Revised submission received. Sometimes they are asking for a revised submission based on the usually they are sending for 2 reviewers, sometimes 3 reviewers. They are based on the comments. You have to incorporate and then give a you have to submit the revised manuscript, and then again peer review and preliminary acceptance if it is accepted, and the formal acceptance and publications, right? This is the review process going through. Yeah, right. That's why I told you you can't take within a couple of weeks. It is not possible. And in good journals, it takes maybe 6 months, 1 year, maybe even 2 years, 1.5 years. Don't know. It depends. Now, AI tools. Nowadays, people are making use of AI, even in even in writing manuscripts. Yes. So it's just a tool. So English and grammar checkers could be used like that. Reference manager, it is there, Mendeley, Endnote, and Zotero, and there are many AI tools. Then plagiarism checker, Turnitin, and other things are there. So you make use of AI as a tool to improve your journal, or sorry, improve your manuscript, and also the journal editors, they are making use of this AI tool to make sure a quality journal is produced in the end. And also people are talking about H index, or the metrics. So people are saying, oh, I have H index of 10 or 12 or 20, but people are not understanding what it is. So it indicates how many of our researchers' publications have been cited, at least that many times. Yes, if a research is highly publishing very high quality uh, journal papers or papers, so their H index is high. Say for example, if H index of 10 means that 10 of the researchers' papers have been cited at least 10 times each. If the H index is 10, that means 10 of the researchers' papers have been cited at least 10 times each. So that means the researcher is doing good research, and therefore people are interested in reading and citing. The H index is a matrix that quantifies both the productivity and impact of researchers' publications by counting the number of highly cited papers. So that anyway, H index is a kind of a reflection of a researcher's quality research, right? And who can use this H index? Individual researchers, journals, academic institutions and universities, and research organizations, and they are useful in career progression, research impact, comparison and evaluation of your work with others, self-reflection, and even career progression. So sometimes they are categorizing scientists based on these index and all. And research impact also, H index is a kind of a measurement of research impact as well. Okay. I think that's enough. Other one is about, uh, open access publication. Publication fees not necessary to explain at this time. I think I have given a brief description of maybe I believe you have learned something out of this, the process of how to publish in a scholarly journal, how to select a journal, good journal, and what should be included, and how to avoid predatory journals and all. I think, okay, thank you.